What's going on, guys? So I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna share my thoughts on the Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley fight. We're gonna answer 4 questions today, so let's get right into it. Number 1, did Jake Paul win? I think Jake Paul won by a round, but if some of you Woodley fans and if some of you had it a draw, I wouldn't blame you as well. I mean, it was close. It was really close. I personally think that Woodley was too gun shy, and he did have his moments, but he was inconsistent. Okay, he didn't know how to follow up. He didn't know how to go in for the kill. Maybe it's because he's a little bit old as well. He's up there, he's like 39 or something, and so he wasn't really. He didn't have that killer instinct anymore to go for the kill after he landed a good shot on Jake Paul. Okay, so I think Jake Paul won 5 rounds to 3. Number 2, is Jake Paul ready for a real boxer? I personally think he is, but he needs to pick the style well. He can't be in there against a guy who throws 100 punches around. He's gonna get overwhelmed and he'll probably get stopped or get knocked out. He's gonna get hurt real bad. And he can't be in there with someone who has one punch knockout power, okay? And Woodley has one punch knockout KO power. I always have trouble pronouncing that word. Woodley's someone who had one punch KO power. The problem is that, he didn't know how to set it up. And if you fight a real boxer, the difference will be in the way that they set it up, in the way they find the openings, and the way they have their plan of attack. It's going to be different in comparison to an MMA fighter in Tyron Woodley. So although Woodley had one punch KO power, he's not going to be as dangerous as a real boxer who has the same KO power, because the difference is going to be in the strategy, and the difference is going to be in the setups that they present to Jake Paul. Okay, so Jake Paul is ready for a real boxer. Go ahead and fight someone who's like Devin Haney, in your weight class. Of course, not Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a skinny guy. Okay, fight someone who's pillow-fisted. Fight someone who's flat-footed. Fight someone who can't hurt you, and fight someone who's not throwing 100 punches around. Okay, I think that's a perfect opponent. That's a great test for him. And although he's gonna win, he's gonna be a test. It's gonna be a test. He's gonna win, but it's gonna be a test. But if he wants the real fight, he needs to fight someone with one punch KO power. And then if he passes that test, one punch KO power who's a real boxer, okay? Not a one punch KO power who's an MMA fighter. So that's what I want him to fight next. And if he passes that test, I would like him to fight a high volume puncher, okay? Like a Julio Ceja or an Antonio Margarito, just throwing 100 punches around. Number 3, does Woodley deserve a rematch? I personally think he does, but I don't want it to happen after next year, okay? So right now, Woodley's 39. I'm not sure when he's gonna turn 40. I'm not really, aware of when his birthday is, but I don't want him to fight Jake Paul after he turns 40, okay? The wear and tear is just gonna build up, and he's probably not gonna be in condition. We already saw, signs of aging on his part in this fight. He wasn't as active, he wasn't as explosive, so that stamina is kind of in question, because I didn't necessarily see it in his face. With Jake Paul, we saw it. We saw his facial expression change. It was like, but with Tyron Woodley, we didn't really see that, right? We didn't really see him we didn't really see him running out of breath. We did not see him with his mouth open. So we're not sure if the reason why he was gun shy was because he was hesitant, it was a mental thing, or he was tired. It was a physical thing, okay? It was a physical factor. But I personally wouldn't want to take that risk after 40. If he wants a rematch, do it before he turns 41. That's what I would say. Because it was a close fight. It was a close fight, but I don't think Tyron Woodley did enough. I don't think Tyron Woodley threw enough punches. I don't think Tyron Woodley applied much pressure. I mean, we already saw how Jake Paul was struggling on the ropes when he got hurt. But the problem was Tyron Woodley's first instinct is to move back. And so he gave Jake Paul a lot of room to breathe, or a lot of room to rest in. He gave Jake Paul a lot of room to move in. I don't personally think that he did a good job of cutting off the ring. If he did, here's one sign that you cut off the ring pretty well. One sign is you only get your opponent to circle one way, okay? If Woodley was able to succeed with that, he should be able to disable Jake Paul from moving both sides. Jake Paul should only circle one way, and that's how you know that you're cutting off the ring pretty well, because you're limiting the movement of your opponent, okay? And then number 4, which style can beat Jake? Like I said, it's gonna be number 1, a guy with a one-punch KO power who knows how to set up that power shot, okay? It's not gonna be like a Deontay Wilder. Although Deontay Wilder had some fights where he did set up the big overhand right, there were also some fights where it was just a lucky punch, okay? He caught his opponent at the right time. He caught his opponent, in the middle of an exchange, and you know, sometimes it's a lucky shot. But if you go in there against a guy who knows how to set it up, like a Sergey Kovalev or a Canelo Alvarez, it's going to be really dangerous, because that's a difference. A lot of people say Woodley was dangerous because he had one punch KO power. It's not just about that. It's also about having the ability to set it up and the ability to set traps for your opponent. The ability to deceive them into thinking that you're going to throw one thing and then throw another thing, okay? And then another style that can beat Jake, in my opinion, is again someone like Julio Ceja, Antonio Margarito, someone who's willing to eat punches in exchange for, you know, their own punches. So someone who throws around 100 punches around, ideally, like a Maidana, like a Brian Castano. That one, or that style, is going to overwhelm Jake. And I think if you put him in there right away, okay, if you put him in there right away with a real boxer who throws with high volume, and not just high volume, I don't want a high volume puncher who throws pillow punches. I want a high volume puncher who also can punch and who also has a decent amount of power, like a Castano. If he fights someone like Castano, he's going to get overwhelmed. Maybe even worse than Charlo did, okay? He's going to get overwhelmed more than Charlo did if he fights a style that is similar to Brian Castano. That's in my opinion, because if you saw him, he was getting overwhelmed with just 3 to 4 shots. Imagine if that was like a 10-punch combination. How is he going to respond? You know, and imagine if he goes in there with someone who not only throws a lot of punches, but they cut the ring off pretty well. They pressure pretty well. They don't allow you to move side to side all the time. Jake Paul was liberal tonight when it comes to his movement, because Woodley wasn't really staying close to him long enough. He was moving back. He was, you know, he was staying in long range, and so Jake Paul had all the room in the world to move around, and that's what I think. Woodley had the potential to beat him tonight, but he was too gun shy. He was too gun shy. He didn't cut off the ring, and yeah, if it's a rematch, if there's going to be a rematch, hopefully it's before Tyron Woodley turns 41, and hopefully he comes out with a better strategy. Hopefully he comes out with more volume, more punches. If not, it's going to be the same outcome. You know, Jake Paul will just outbox him all night, land the jabs, land the check hooks, you know, and possibly land the overhand right. He did land it tonight, but it wasn't as much. He didn't land it as much, I should say, because Woodley was also defensively responsible. So that was it. Again, I think Jake Paul is ready for a real boxer. I just don't think that he's ready for a real boxer who's offensive, okay? He can fight a defensive fighter, sure. He can fight someone who's pillow-fisted, yeah. But a power puncher and a volume puncher, it's a big no-no. Especially if you're gonna fight a high-level fighter who is way up there in the rankings. I personally wouldn't recommend it, but if that's what he wants, hey, good for him. That proves to me that he wants the real motherfuckers. He wants a real test, and I respect him for that. But if I was him, I wouldn't take the risk, because it's just beginning. He's just starting out, man. He's like 4-0, so I don't want him to take a big loss that early. I don't want him to cherry pick either, don't get me wrong, but I don't want him to leap in levels like that quickly. He goes from fighting Tyron Woodley into fighting a top 20 guy. Get the fuck out of here. That's not how it works, okay? So that's it. Peace out. Subscribe if you're new. If you're wondering why my film studies aren't as consistent now, it's because all of them are on Patreon, okay? I have 6 patrons at the moment, and they all are, they're all committed. They're all on Discord. I message them privately. So I'm handling a lot of things right now in addition to school, and so that's why I haven't been consistent on here. But expect next month for the videos to come back. And for now, if you want, you know, online coaching, if you want me to become your advisor, if you want me to write out programs for you in addition to the program that you are already having in the gym, you know, we can split it up. I'm currently offering that on Patreon if you want to. We can talk about it on Discord. Just let me know, and I'll see you guys soon, man. Peace.